Hey, hey, party people, what's going on? This is Dr. Jabbo Allen back in the set. Today, I want to talk more about using the 4P's to market yourself, in addition to using the 4P's to market yourself within the dating world. Um, I want to discuss the first topic was using yourself or looking at yourself as a product. But before I even get into that, um, one of my students actually asked me as I was in class, and they said, Professor, you always call us the party people. And I had to sit back and think about it. And I said, I do always call everybody the party people. That's how I start my segment off or start class off. And I sat back and thought about it. In 1989, 1990, 1989, when Big Daddy came out with Ain't No Half Stepping, he said, I grabbed the mic and make him C's evaporate. The party people say, damn, that rap was great. And that has stuck with me ever since. So even when I start my classes, I'll be like, all right, party people, here we go. And my students be like, party people? So it's just one, like I said, one particular student was bold enough to be like, yo, why you call us the party people? And I'm like, hey, Big Daddy Kane said he grabbed the microphone and make them C's evaporate. The party people say, damn, that rap was great. All right, enough of that. So I got some feedback based upon the last time I talked about looking at yourself as a product. A couple of people have sent me a couple of items that how they will identify themselves as a product. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna share my screen and start off with the top, which is the actual product. So looking at the actual product and starting with the product within the marketing mix, a couple of feedback has gotten a cookbook. So if I start at the top with a cookbook, my first question always to my clients and to my students is, what kind of cookbook? What do you specialize in within this cookbook? Are you looking at are you an ethnic cookbook? Are you a Christmas cookbook, holiday cookbook? Do you specialize in barbecue, baking? Are you a cookbook that gives insight on what you should make at certain events? Or are you just straight recipes? Are you old-fashioned recipes? Are you modern recipes? And then if you're a type of cookbook, then looking at you as a product, you need to define and scale down your specialty in terms of a cookbook, because there are thousands and thousands of cookbooks out there. So when I got the feedback of a cookbook, I started to analyze it, and I said, okay, looking at this from a perspective, okay, these are the various cookbooks that are out there. Are you a hardback cookbook? Are you a paper soft? Can you be downloadable? Are you online? Are you a Kindle cookbook? And this also goes into another feedback that I got from a good friend of mine that said she's a book. And when she said she was a book, I actually looked at it and I said, okay, well then if you're a book, then what kind of book are you? Are you a mystery? Are you a thriller? Are you a comedy? So looking at the various books that are out there, and once again, I got into, are you a black and white? Are you color? Softback, hardback? Are you downloadable? Are you a book that can be on Kindle? So have you been with this book and with the cookbook as well, which they align with the two? Are you a type of book that can be downloaded into Kindle, into Apple, and are you cell phone friendly? Are you iPad friendly? So looking at that as a product, then I got into another feedback was, I'm a house. Well, Luther said, a house is not a home, and there's two of us to turn the key. Oh, please be there. That's not me, that's Luther. May Luther rest in peace. Are you a house? Are you a home? What kind of house are you? 2-story, bi-level, ranch? What kind of house are you? Are you a house with a garage and a backyard? Are you a house with what is that thing not even a garage, it's just some little overpass? So when you're looking at yourself as a product, sometimes just take a step back and say, okay, well then what am I in specifics because that starts to narrow down your mindset. Another good friend of mine texted me back. She said she is a lie detector. So that means she's able to discover the bullshit. But then when I looked up and did the research on various lie detectors, they're lie detectors, and you have your government lie detectors, which that price range is within the thousands. Those are very complex, sophisticated lie detectors. But they also have a game, which I just found in Walmart. It's only $18.65. Well, it's actually a game that has a little lie detector machine in it. So you have to look at the various scopes or the various scopes of what you are in terms of the product, because that starts to get the wheels to spinning. And when I'm talking about looking at yourself as a product, I'm only talking about looking at a certain aspect, an attribute. We all are made up of different feelings, emotions. All our characteristics are totally different. However, once we define ourselves as a product by using one attribute, it kind of starts to get the wheels to spinning, because that attribute is supposed to be an attribute that has been with you every step of the way. Another one that I got was, I'm a cell phone. So when my close friend said, okay, I'm a cell phone, I was like, all right, here we go. And her and I spoke about this on the phone. I said, well, let's get into specifics. And I also say this to my students about cell phones. I say, so if you're a cell phone, then what is the use of a cell phone? And I always ask my students that various questions. What is the use of a cell phone? Oh, it's organized. It's entertainment. The actual definition, if you really boil down and strip down a cell phone, it's a communication device. It's a device in which we communicate. Over the years, the cell phone has expanded into a commodity, and now we need that for everything: our organizational skills, our communication skills, and it's also a form of entertainment for us. So when she gave me the cell phone, I said, all right, well, what kind of cell phone are you? I said, are you touch with the keys? Are you flip? I said, what you got? I said, are you 5G? Are you 4G? Are you 3G? I said, talk to me, what you got? And as her and I started to converse, or as we were talking and conversing about the various cell phone entities or attributes, and she compared them to her, because she looked at herself as, since as I've been growing or evolving as a person, my communication skills have gotten better. I'm able to communicate. I'm able to convey ideas and thoughts more correctly and in detail as she started to get older. So that's how she came with the comparison of that I'm now a cell phone device. And as each cell phone has evolved, so has the attributes of the cell phone, dating back to, and a lot of y'all can, hey, remember the big bag phone you had? You saw it on Lethal Weapon. I think Lethal Weapon 1 that came out. He had the bag phone and the phone with the antenna. And so her and I kind of went briefly through the cell phones and how we are today. And it's funny because I actually get into that with my class and my students. I actually get into the whole cell phone situation, because I say, back when I was in school, back when I was growing up, we had the landline. And I said, based upon the landline in which we only had one line. And if you was on the phone and you tried to call somebody, the line was busy. And I kind of went over that evolution of the phone to where we are today in terms of having a cell phone, having two-way calling, call ID. For those that's gonna watch this and know about that call ID, remember when we first got call ID and it was a little box on the side, you'd be like, yes, 786, I don't know that number. All right, remember when we first got, this was crazy. Remember when we first got answering machines? Remember when the answering machine was connected to the phone, you had a little thing, you push the button, you could say, hey, this is Chris. I'm not home right now. If you can leave me a message at the sound of the beep, I will gladly get back with you. And they go beep, and then all of a sudden, people used to put music in the bag. One of my homegirls back in the day, and I had never heard this song, but it stuck with me before. She put the song "T-shirt and my panties on." And I was like, you did not put that on. And if she's watching this, you know what I'm talking about. And I was like, yo, we used to put all kind of music on that side. But anyway, I deviate from that. But that's a product. That's how we evolved or talked about how going from the actual landline to where we are now using a communication device. All right. So I do just want to tip back and talk about that a little bit more, because once again, as everybody starts to watch my podcast and my YouTube videos, really just take one aspect of your characteristics of something that has carried you and been a part of you, and just look at it as a product, because the next thing I'm going to talk about really is the place. And as you can see, the place on the second tier of the pyramid is, where are you? In my podcast, I actually talk about the mindset of a relationship versus the lifestyle of a relationship. Those two are connected to place. What's the place? Where are you? Where can you be found? You know, I just found out, and I'm gonna look through my notes on this. Bumble, if y'all don't know nothing about Bumble, Bumble is publicly traded. Bumble right now is publicly traded. So you telling me a dating app that is used to connect A to B and B to A is now publicly traded? And if I'm not mistaken, and I should have wrote this in my notes, Bumble is being traded for $74 a share. So that means that dating is now publicly traded on the stock market. That's how powerful relationships are, and the power of connecting A to B. Y'all just let this take a minute to kind of process that right now. A dating app is publicly trading on the stock exchange for $74 and some change. That means that they understand that people will always try to connect with other people. And if I'm not mistaken, Bumble has a dating side, a BFF side, and some other side. I think it has 3 sides to it. I've only seen the one because of the dating side, but I think it has a BFF. I got enough BFF. Basically, the people who are watching this YouTube video and listening to my podcast, I got enough BFFs. Y'all know who y'all are. Y'all get on my nerves. Y'all crazy, but I love y'all. So here we go. Looking and taking it back to the place. And let me share my screen again so you guys can see it. Taking it back to the place. The place is where you are right now. What's your mindset right now? What is your lifestyle right now? Where can you be found right now? That's the now. And I say this to my students in my marketing class, and I'm gonna say it to the world in this podcast and on this YouTube. Where is the good cereal? First of all, when is the last time y'all went grocery shopping? I ask my students this all the time. When is the last time y'all went grocery shopping? And when is the last time you went down a cereal aisle? And if you can tell me right now where the good cereal is, and I'm talking about Fruity Pebbles in them, I'm talking about Captain Crunch in them, I'm talking about Count Dracula, I'm talking about where's the good cereal? When you walk down the cereal aisle, where is the good cereal? So my students always sit back and they go eye level. I said, eye level for who? And they said, well, it's at the top. I said, you sure? Then a student always click. You know what? Captain Crunch and them are always at the bottom. I said, keep talking. Fruity Pebbles and them are always at the bottom. I said, so y'all, why is that? Who's the target market? Why are Captain Crunch and them, Fruity Pebbles and them at the bottom? Frosted Flakes and them at the bottom. I said, why? They said, because it's for kids. I said, and how tall are kids? And they go, you're right, it's in reach of the kids. And I said, and what's at the top with us grown folks? What do you see at the top line, the top of the shelf? Special K in them. I said, because they think we need to be healthy. That's the place, party people. That's the place. It's those shelves or those products placed on those particular shelves are there for a reason. That's not done by osmosis. It's a method behind the madness as to why those products are placed there. If you ever walk into Publix, and I tell my students this all the time, especially down here in South Florida, if you ever walk into Publix and it's during football season, what's the first thing you walk in when you in no Publix when it's football season? You walk into a display of the Miami Dolphins and it's football season tailgating items, chips, hot dogs, buns, barbecue, charcoal. Everything you would need for either a backyard or a tailgate is located the minute you walk through a door for the Miami Dolphins. And guess who is one of the official sponsors for the Miami Dolphins? It is called Publix, for those that live in the Southeast region that follows the Miami Dolphins. It can be like that anywhere within the United States. Just take a look when you walk through the door during football season, if you live in a city that has a sports team, especially during football. Party people, that's place. So my question is, and I'm looping it back around because I'm just that professor that just loops shit back around. What place? Where are you right now? Where are you mentally? Like I said in my podcast, the mindset of a relationship. What is your lifestyle? The lifestyle of a relationship. Where are you? Where can you be found? Once again, I say this all the time. That's because we got these dating apps. And like I said about Bumble, obviously they know that people will continue to connect using an app as opposed to going out and meeting somebody. A friend of mine, I was just speaking yesterday about dating and meeting someone. She said to me, and when she watches podcasts, she could be like, damn, Chris, you can be telling everything I say. Dating in these times, we used to think that used to be about an organic experience. Meeting someone, hey, how you doing? What your interests are, who you bees with, tell me your style, what numbers to dial. We used to think it used to be like that. But nowadays, and I'm saying this, and I'm gonna look into the screen when I say this, everybody is on their freaking phones. This guy here took his dog to a dog park, which is 6 lights from here, from my home. And for some strange reason, I got hit with every red light. I got an SUV, so I'm able to look over in other people's cars. Yeah, I'm just that nosy because I'm not on my phone, and 9 times out of 10, I'm jamming to the music. I was able to look out the window into other people's cars if they didn't have tinted windows. Out of 6 lights, I looked in everybody's car and they were just like this. First light, second light. And if it wasn't somebody on the passenger seat looking at their phones, it was somebody on the driver that was driving. They were like, and I'm saying to myself, how in the hell you gonna have an organic experience of meeting someone when you don't know what the hell is going on around you? You have no freaking idea of what's going on around you because 9 times out of 10, your head is buried in here. And I remember I had to be nosy because even when I got to the dog park, I just kind of sat there and thought about it. I said, what is so god dang important that at every light, you got to stop and look at this? Like, is Instagram on point like that? I know it ain't Facebook. People TikToking like that. So I go back to place. That organic experience of meeting someone for people that are single and you got your head buried in your phone, you don't know who in the hell's around you. I can take you back to the days of when we would have that organic experience when you met them at a bar, at a restaurant, club. And people use club now as a bad thing. Back when I was in school, Alabama A&M is in the house. After we went to the lighthouse, when we went to the lighthouse, we danced. We dropped it like it's hot. Nowadays, and I used to work for a club, they listen to the song for all of 5 minutes, go to the next song, and everybody's in there looking pretty. Now, maybe that's just South Beach. Maybe that's just how South Beach does it. But people look at clubs. Clubs used to be where you could go there and meet someone, not if to date, but just meet a new person. That does not exist in this millennium. So I'm saying this, and like I said, I'm at 20 minutes now with my podcast and in my video. That's where I am right now with the product and the place. Where are you in terms of your product? Where would your product be located? If you were a book, where would you be located? If you was a house, and Luther said, a house is not a home, where would you be located? Prime neighborhood, gated community, lakefront, canal front. If you're a lie detector, that's kind of hard. I can't even lie to you. Lie detector, I mean, hell, government. I don't think anybody domestically is gonna buy a lie detector, but if they play that game, then it could happen. If you were, and where's my notes again? And if you were a cookbook, same thing. Where would you be located? So, all right, party people. Once again, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. I hope you enjoyed this YouTube video. I am going to, well, hit me up. And for those that are watching this on the YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube link. Leave me comments. Let a brother know what's going on with your interests are, what you be, who you bees with. Tell me your style, what numbers to dial. No, don't do all that shit. But let me know what you guys are thinking. I thank everyone for their feedback. I thank everyone for their blessing. And I am going to continue to do this as I go. Hit me up, Jabbo at jabbogroup.org. Hit me up, email me, Dr.Jabbo970 at gmail.com. Hashtag Dr. Jabbo, hashtag Professor Jabbo. I keep saying Jabbo because that's who I am. That is the name, and not too many people out there. I saw a couple of people out there that had the name Jabbo, but they ain't me. They ain't me. Y'all know who I is. All right, party people. Holler at you later. See you when I see you. Everybody, stay safe. Peace.